everybody, it's Kelly, and I have something very exciting to bring to you today. Rachel Reynolds and I have teamed up, and we are going to be doing a series called Work the Line. It will be appearing the first Thursday of every month, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick one collection, and then we'll each make a layout from that collection. So in case you didn't recognize it or didn't guess what it was, we're going to be doing Chamel's Little by Little this month, and Rachel let me pick this one. I have a ton of Little by Little product. I like Chamel's lines anyway, but I have two grandsons, and this really seemed to suit the pictures that I would have for them, because it is sort of child-based as well, but you can use it for many other things other than scrapbooking children. So, as I said, I have a lot of the papers here, and I have some of the cut-apart sheets as well. Then I also have the 6x12 sticker sheet, which I have just started to, well, I guess I have a few of those used. I have the sticker book itself, which I've actually used a decent bit of already. I have the die cuts here, and I keep my die cuts in Crupper Hopper 4x6 photo sleeves, and then I put them in a wicker basket. So these are the die cuts from the line. They're already out of the package. I have the wood buttons, which I've used quite a few of those already. I have the puffy stickers, and then I have these enamel dots. And I just realized I'm going to be doing these photos from Easter of my grandbabies and daughter-in-law and her parents, and because they're from Easter, I thought this line would be great for the colors, but then I just looked and there's two bunnies on here, so whatever I do, I'm going to need to use these two bunny stickers because that will be perfect for this line. So those are all the things I'm going to use. As I said, these are the two photos I'm going to use. I will make sure to link Rachel's video in the comments, and so that you can see that. Oh, and I forgot one more thing here. I did not buy any of the letter stickers from the Little by Little line other than the few that came in the sticker book. So I am going to use Chamel's Fitzgerald in the aqua color. Yeah, this one doesn't have a color name on it. It was just the in aqua, and it's from Starshine. So I still am using Chamel product, just I didn't have anything from this particular collection. So let's put you on fast forward and we'll start creating. All right, so let's get the layout started. I really love how the photos look on this pink piece of paper with the little green leaves on it. And I've decided I also want to use that floral paper. I was thinking about the chevron because I love that. And I will use that paper yet. I'm also using an aqua background paper there as well. And when I put them all together, I really much better like the way the yellow works on top of the floral and then on top of the aqua paper. As much as I think the pink was a really nice background for the photos, the yellow works as well too. Now I want to use something to journal on, so I'm going to cut this card out of one of the cut-aparts. It's a 4x6 card, and I end up not using it, so I don't know which one that was. But I needed a horizontal element to go underneath the photo, and you're going to see this is not going to work. So that triangular aqua paper that is hard to see because it's the same color as my mat is called Foxy, and then that floral right there is the reverse of that paper. So those two are the Foxy paper. That yellow dot paper is the pint-sized fun paper. And again, this is all Chamel Little by Little. I'll tell you where that varies a little bit. So one of my big challenges here is that the photos are of different orientation, so I'm having to figure out exactly how those are going to fit on that block. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to figure that out. So I'm going through my die cuts here, and I found another bunny, so I'm pulling him out to use because, again, these are photos from Easter. I slid those photos over to the left there because I'm going to change the orientation, and when I did that, that 4x6 journaling card doesn't fit anymore. The other journaling cards aren't wide enough, so I'm going to have to figure out how to position all those. And when I went to find my ATG, I pushed over my iPad that I was watching videos on. Anyway, so now we have the orientation of how those photos are going to go, but I need to cut them because I want, or cut the paper, because I don't want it going all the way to the over to the right side. I want it to come from the left, to start at the left edge, just so that you see more of the floral paper on the right side instead of it just being more like a border. Back to the die cuts again, and those die cuts are called die cut shapes in the Little by Little collection. I found that die cut that says Love Always on it, and that's so appropriate because this is a layout about family, basically, so that makes sense to do that. And now I'm just working on positioning where do I want the floral paper and how much space do I want above that, and I have that figured out. And then I'm going to actually ink the edges on these papers, and I think it sets the papers off from each other a little bit more. That's why I'm doing it. It's almost like there's an extra little shadow there. And now I'm looking, I don't want the exact space above and below that yellow paper, so that's why I was being a little bit more careful. It just looks a little bit too contrived. So there's a little bit more floral paper at the top than at the bottom is basically what I did. So it's a little bit uneven. My eye just sees that better. I see I'm still looking, can I maybe cut this off? Will it look okay? And I just would have missed one of the floral borders. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to move the Love Always die cut down there and see if I can figure anything else out for the journaling there. Now, as I was looking through some of my pieces for journaling, I spotted this cut apart sheet with this rabbit on it, and that cut apart sheet is called Think Big. That's the paper it's on. And I really like him. The reason I want to use him, and I'm going to replace the one that's already on there with this guy that I'm cutting apart, is the other one has that big purple banner on it, and there's not any other purple on this layout. He does have a little bit of a purple nose, but it's pretty small, so you don't really notice it. The purple was just, it was another color that I didn't want on this layout. I already have enough going on. I didn't want to add any extra colors. Now I do realize, and here I'm coming back, I'm looking at maybe using purple flowers, but the flowers on top of the floral paper are not going to be good. It's too much. But what I am going to use is that heart die cut there. And the reason I'm going to use that is it gives the rabbit a little bit more of a solid background to sit on. I was kind of losing him a little bit in the floral background. It also brings some of the aqua from the background paper into the front of the layout, which I think is important, as does the Love Always die cut. And as I was going to say, I realize that that does have navy on it, and there's no other navy, but there is navy in the photos, and that's working fine for me because of that. Now, I'm going to go to my Chamel Fitzgerald, or American Crafts Stickers in the Fitzgerald font. These again are from the Starshine collection, and I don't have any E's. So what I'm going to do here is, once I get this figured out, I will cut apart the B to make an E. Sarah Swan calls that MacGyvering it, and I think that's really funny. But the one problem I'm having here is the Easter and the die cut are almost the same size, so I need another words or something in there. I was going to call it Easter with the family and put the family right there where I just pointed. And I thought about using these little letter stickers from the sticker book. It's just called Stickers. But I don't want any red or navy on here. I don't want any more of that. And if I use the yellow and pink, the yellow would have blended right into the background paper, and I didn't have at least one of the letters in pink any longer. So I abandoned that idea, and I'm going to come up with another one. Just inking the edges of that die cut as well there. So I'm making the pieces work for me by cutting out that rabbit instead of just using them as is. And I like how he looks. He's just a, I don't know, a better size there as well, I think. It really pops in your face that this is an Easter occasion. And I also have the aqua going on in the 2 clusters I have now. I do want one more cluster, but that's going to come a little bit later. And I'm toying a little bit with putting it down here because then I might be able to spell Easter with the family or with family. But instead I've decided I'm going to just call it Family Easter. And because I don't have enough room to spell family before the Easter right now, I'm just planning on just spelling it behind it, and then I'll know kind of like how the spacing goes. Although I'm going to also change that. I like using wax paper. It may seem like it's kind of a waste of time because you're just putting it on there and then having to take it off and putting it on the layout. But it really helps me get my spacing right for titles. And that's what I'm doing here. Especially because I was fairly particular about where the R in Easter was going to end. So this way I could really know that where I wanted it to end, that it will end. And it's pretty quick to get these titles on again once you get them on the wax paper. Now what I'm doing is I am cutting that B apart and I'm making it into an E, and then I will cut the other one apart as long as I'm doing it. It's 3 quick cuts and I have an E. And isn't that cool? So those letters, I love this Fitzgerald font. Those letters are going to go a lot farther. So now I'm placing my R down because I know that I want that to end at least partially on the photograph. And I think about 3/4 of that letter is on the photograph. And I'm getting all that down. And then leaving just a little bit of space there. And then I didn't get this E cut, or the new E cut quite right. Alright, so I have that down. Now I'm going to the wood buttons, and they are called wood buttons in Little by Little. I like the dimension they add to a layout, and it's just a different element and a different texture with the wood on it, so it adds a little bit of surprise in. I'm kind of thinking that I might like another piece there underneath the element and maybe on top of the heart, but I'm not finding the right thing. And part of the problem is I was trying to use florals on top of florals, which isn't exactly advisable maybe. I did see that little banner, but I thought it was too short, too small. But then I find this camera, and I really, really like that camera. It's a nice touch of pink, because there's pink in the other 2 clusters that's fairly prevalent. So I like that. Trying this little journaling spot here too, but I didn't like the way it hid the heart, and the color just, I don't know, it was too much on top of the other color too. All right, there is, I was thinking about that banner perhaps up on top, but it looked a little stilted and contrived. And then when I put it up there, it was almost the same size as the other die cut. So it just looked too matchy-matchy to me, to my eye. So I kind of like the way the camera sort of breaks that up, and you get those nice big impact of those 3 pops of pink around the 2 photos. And when you do photos with the 2 different orientations like these are, it's always, what do I do with that space underneath the horizontal photo or on top of it, depending on how you place it. I did find another wood button that I liked there, and that has some turquoise in it to bring turquoise into that part of the layout. And then I went to my puffy stickers and grabbed one of those little rabbits, like I said I was going to do. And then I have a little puffy sticker flower there that or another puffy sticker I was thinking about using a rabbit. I'm going to end up using this flower though. And I like how it brings that little bit of yellow up into the top of that cluster. And then what I did is I moved the wood button to the center of the camera. That just made a little bit more sense. It was overpowering it when it was below the camera. Now that it's the camera lens per se, much, much better. right. I did get a little bit of glue in the wrong spot, so I'm having to kind of rub it back underneath the rabbit. And all those pieces are inked as well. So here's where my journaling is going to go. There's not much to say about this other than it's the family and the date. So there will be a still shot and a couple of detail shots when I'm done. As I said, I'll make sure to include Rachel's video. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Otherwise, hope you're having a great day. Bye.